So this time we'll try to spend a bit more time to talk about some of the legal stuff and the finance related stuff as well. So we can spend some time following up. I'm updated on the project, so we don't really need to kind of talk about that, but more on to progress some of these execution matters, I guess. One other thing, Anna Hall is back to help us. So all of you are, just so that you're aware, see. And Jason, I spoke to you as well. Anna, I don't think she was really in touch with helping Korea, but Anna will be helping Korea going forward as well to process all the PRs and POs and vendor creation. Yep. So our contract with her is 5 hours a week. I think, if I remember correctly. So use her wisely. She'll try to follow up as much as possible. Of course, some of things that can be done by yourself, let's try to do it on our own. Only when things that needs to be followed up, and I think she's already in touch with Erica and Anj for that as well. Okay. I suggest that we start with Vietnam first. I know Keng is on leave, so he's joining. He's joining on his day off. Let's start with Vietnam first, and then Korea, and finally on Indonesia. I know it's Friday and it's 4 at Australia. So if we can finish it all today, we finish it all today. Otherwise, for Indonesia, if we can't, we organize a separate session on Monday. Yeah. Okay. Maybe let's start with Vietnam. We can go through the list that Tom that you have prepared, or Han you have prepared. So we can start with that first. And I think the first item on the call is the capital injection and all the and the resolution and stuff. I know there has been some emails going around between Han and Erica. So if there's anything that we need to clear up, let's try to clear up here as well.
So I think Erica. Sorry.
Oh, you're muted, Han.
Yeah, but just mute yourself before we can hear you.
Sorry.
Yeah,
you can hear me now? Okay. So Erica and I, we clear all information required or needed provided by finance and HR for one of the documentation within the application. And then today, after this call, I am going to just cross-check with Louisa on the BOD members from BDAS, just confirm the information, and then just hopefully we can complete the draft of the application within this week or early of next week, and then we can proceed for a signature. And my plan is, Erica, once we can sign the BOD resolution, then you can start the capital injections. We don't need to wait until the amended license to be issued. We can do it in parallel.
Yes. So
yeah.
I only need two things, right? I only need is signed board resolution and the funding notice. I only need these two pieces. So yeah. Once they're signed, send them to me, and I will get Treasury to do the funds transfer pretty quickly.
Yeah, the BOD resolution is part of the application that we are going to submit to the authority within the license amendment applications. And let's like I say, we are finalizing it because depends now it's pending. The information pending is at the latest BOD members of BDAS. It's changed already from the time we declare with the local authorities when we establish the Vietnamese debt code. So I need to double check with Louisa on that information first within today after this call. Yeah. And
sorry, let me just on the board resolution. I think the one that I've seen that you'll check with Louisa on. I think that's the VDAS board resolution, right? But the one that we typically provide to Erica for the funding notices is it's the board resolution of the project company, because that's what approves the funding notice. So, which I think you've also have worked on drafting, because that just needs to look the same as the. It should be the very simple form. So there should be two board resolutions, one for VDAS, which I think we're only doing that because I think that's a Vietnamese requirement, and then the other one, which is the company board resolution. And that's the one, and then that one can be sent to Erica along with the funding notice. And that board resolution will approve the sending of the funding notice, the funding request.
And I saw your note, Tom. You said discuss the change of Patrick as the authorized person of VDAS in VD Vietnam. Is that concluded?
Will be with the call. Will be in the call with Louisa as well. After this call, Jason.
Okay. So she hasn't identified anyone to do this. Do we need somebody from Copenhagen or is it someone like Glenn? I think it's Copenhagen, is it?
I think it has to be
we don't.
Oh, go ahead, Han. Yeah, please.
No, I mean by local law, it's not required that someone to be in Copenhagen or even within the BOD member of VDAS.
Okay, so we can remove Patrick totally.
No, we still need someone, but then it may be you or someone else within the region.
Okay.
But they're are they the authorized representative of VDAS?
That's the authorized person of the VDAS, which is different with the list of authorized person in VD Vietnam, which is we are having Jason and Frank now.
I think and so I think the authorized person of VDAS will probably have to be someone from Copenhagen, but Han, you can confirm that with Louisa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it's required to be someone in Copenhagen, it's just like due to our internal requirement. It's not the local law requirement.
Okay. I understand. So it's not required under Vietnam law, but it's just our internal policy. So check with Louisa who she wants to have it on if it's even required. And ideally this person doesn't need to sign too many things, otherwise we have to kind of grab hold of this person every now and then.
Yeah.
Okay. Second point on the investor selection process and the bid entity structure.
Yeah, I received and I read through the email recently updated by Anchor about the process. Seems like they are going to release the land plots approval for the province. So currently, I am still keeping in touch with the with Baker McKenzie and Villa. I'm going to send you and the commercial teams the comparisons basically about the proposal from these both companies to see how they quote about the scope of work, show their kind of experience or the assumption from each of the law firm together with the quotations. So then we can decide, which kind of scope of work and which steps we want to engage with the law firm. And in parallel, like if you remember, we discussed like verbally on, let's say once the province release the applications, then how we want to structure the scope of work between the law firm and the technical consultants. So I'm going to send you some of my comments about the ideal scope of work for the technical and local consultants. How we should use them for our technical work and prepare all of the applications for our EOI process.
By technical, you mean the local consultant, right? To help with the process, right? Because so on this EOI's process, it's not smart about like the real technical thing. It's just more about like to prove our capability to the province, mainly on the financial capability and experience capability. And I think that we have discussed before that we're gonna use Vestat Win System AS because that is the thing that we have all the financial information public and also the track record and it will help us to prove with the province. And what are we like going to ask for support from the local law firm here? Is that they're gonna be helped with all of the bidding process or prepare?
I'm going to send you the expected some of the scope of work, and I was asking them to provide their assumption and their quotation in parallel, and then like I said, we can start thinking about how we should engage law firm and the local technical consultant.
Okay, so let's get that out, and then we will have a separate discussion on that thing as well, and we start to prepare.
Yeah, so I think you are expecting that there will be released something related to EOI around Q4.
Yeah. So what the last update we had with them the last week, C and I went there, and they plan to have the to approve the resolution on land plot sometime in July this month or maybe next month, and then after that they will need to issue the decision on investment policy before they can call for the EOI, and that decision on investment policies, the timing is still unknown because now they just merging a few departments into one, and then also with the new province administrative. And I think that they will take some time because now they are moving this job from Department of Industrial and Trade to Department of Finance. So Department of Finance is also studying. So we will keep very close eyes on that plan. So I think that we have a couple of months to prepare. Right.
Okay. So as part of this discussion, just to let everybody know, the budget season is coming soon. I'm sure Erica will let us know that as well. So as part of this, the last time I spoke to Louis for legal and also for finance, Erica, we have to forecast what we need for FCC, right? And this year we'll have the next year we'll have a separate accounts from Australia. So in the past we just took a lump sum that was used the year before, and then we times a certain multiplier to get to where it is. So which is not great at all.
No.
Yeah. So this year I like legal for each of the country to think about what you need for budget, right? So things like company secretary, notary services. We don't need to be exact, but let's try to be as close as possible based on what we have done last year, right? And if we're going to have new SPVs, depending on whatever it is, and then things like IRC processes, due diligence processes, and even sale processes. So think about what is required from a legal perspective, and ideally I'd like you guys to have ownership of that legal budget, because next year, excuse me, because next year I'm not sure whether we can. I think the budget will still be for Greater Asia as a whole, but we just have to make sure that we are within our FCC spend, and I think Thomas is very particular about this, so we just have to be a bit more careful. And similarly for Erica, I think for you, it will be primarily audit expenses, if I'm not wrong. If there's anything else, put it together. So if you guys can think about it, because I think soon we will have to ask you guys for the forecast.
Yeah. And is this costs that are general, like country specific, or is this? Should this also include like the country specific or the project specific legal costs? Like if we're doing like the stuff that we're doing for Garut for the leases, would that be like that type of? Should that be included in it, or?
So I like it to be split to the country as much as possible. We don't need to go to project specific, but for the countries, because especially for things that for legal fees that cannot be capitalized. So for Garut land, I think that we can capitalize for the purposes of that. So that's not so important. So FCC are the expenses that we incur this year, and we have to expense it. We can't capitalize it to anything. So I think for legal, it will really be company secretary work, IRC processes, M&A processes, and any random advice that we are going to get if the law changes. Like things like what we are doing in Korea with Kim and Chang.
Yeah, like general advice. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I think we can put that. We can put that together. Sure.
Yeah. And then of course, and the other thing is have a budget for Laos as well. Han, I think we will probably look at that a bit closely as well for Vietnam.
I think that might be tough, right? Because I don't think we know yet, right? What the next steps we're taking. I think any number we give will be.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think first we need to figure out who can help us, and for general advice, I don't think for Laos we will do anything heavy on legal in terms of cost. Next year, I think it will be generally how to set up SPV, the general stuff, and whether some updates on advice on Laos law and all the good stuff. So it won't be kind of specific to Laos, because if we're going to come in, it's going to be a new setup. Yeah, because I think we're on the same page there. Because the thing I was thinking, I was like, if we form an SPV, then that'll probably require quite a bit of legal funds. But if we're just getting advice on how to do it, then that'll be probably lower. So if we're just doing that one, okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay. All right. I think. Sorry, Jason. One more question. Apologies. This is for our estimate for next year, or next for year. The second, next year. Not for the second half of this year. No, okay. No, next year. Right, Erica.
For next year, yes, that's right.
If we're even close, man, this feels like throwing a dart at a dartboard. But hey, we'll do what we can. Yeah. Look, I think Thomas, through my various conversations with him, he's keeping a very tight eye on the FCC, and he's like, whatever we put in this year, let's try not to exceed it. Yeah, of course we will try, but to the extent possible, right? Give me $1 million of legal, and we won't exceed it. Perfect.
1 million for the whole year for all region.
For all of Asia, yeah, 1 million would be more than enough.
For the whole region for the year.
Yeah, that would be double what we spent last year. Yeah, that's not a real number, Erica. I don't know if you're right.
There's no harm asking, but then we have to massage the numbers later on.
No, we'll give you a more precise number based on real things.
Yeah. So that is for next year, right? So since we are talking about this, I just wanted to mention something before I forget. It's that I need additional funding for WPTK for the rest of the year. So, okay.
We're going to Korea.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So I think that's that for legal in Vietnam, right? I know Yu Yang is helping with the Dien Bien Meng Ang detailed assessment on the new boundary and the Seng La province screening. The Laos screening, we are waiting to do the modeling, right?
For the Laos, there's no new task in the list. Yeah.
No, I'm asking Kong and C for Laos. What's the next step again? Can you remind me?
I'm good. Maybe he disconnect. So we will provide Wind and Side team about the project is the existing project in the Laos. So the Wind and Side team said the new boundary, the area that is meet our requirement. So now anh Cương fully updates the Laos, our plan in Laos. Yeah. Mute.
Yeah, mute. Kung, you're mute.
I think I got lost for a minute, but then we hear that we are looking into Laos, right? So what are the updates in Laos, right?
Yeah.
I'm still trying to find a local consultant that or anyone that can really help us to do the screening to see if what we identify is available. I think that I also asked IE as well, but they have not come back yet. I'm trying to see if any other local developer that can give some insight, but for now that is the bottleneck now. Yeah.
Okay.
The thing that for all of the other developers they do in Laos is not really they have a professional consultant. It's more like they have their own subsidiary working in Laos with some operation in Laos. So they work directly with the authority there to get the project. It's a little bit different from Vietnam. We'll see how we can do.
Yeah. So there's remind me again, the financial modeling, do we need to do anything? The reason why I'm asking this, I'll let you know later with the Korean team as well.
I think before we have done, and then we was somewhat like a line that if we can find any project with the scale and the wind speed that we give to the siting team, if we meet that criteria, I think we can go further. And now the focus is to find a site that can meet those criteria.
Okay. So nothing on the financial modeling side. Okay. So DPPA, you saw some questions from Samsung. I think it's the exchange rate question. Just get back to them, and then the floor price. Just tell them to get lost, and say we will provide them at this time, right? As we discussed. Yeah. But you can do that when you're back. It's not that urgent. Then similarly with Lisa on Apple and Foxconn. Then the other thing is the business plan with Luca and Ruben. I know you provided the assumptions to them, so when they come back, just review through the model. We can do it together. And one other thing to let you know, and also KK, is I had a call with Brookfield today, or actually everyone. So it seems like they are also keen on both countries. I think more so for Vietnam. They were interested in the $1 million question of when do you think the IRC, when do you think we'll get past the investor selection process? So I told them that everybody is doing the same thing. And then the other more interesting question is, in Dien Bien, are they expecting anything more? Like, what do they expect from investor? So apparently there are some provinces that are asking for more, like, you have to build a factory here, you have to do this, you have to do that, and all the good stuff. So I said not to our knowledge, but what I've done, is, I told them to think about it, and then we'll have a follow-up call with them when you're back sometime next week or whenever. So they're going to go back and consolidate their thoughts on this. So, and then the financing terms, that's with Glenn. I think I'll invite Glenn for this course going forward as well. Discussions with Tokyo Gas and Eurus, that's also ongoing. That's all I have on my list for Vietnam. Kung, anything else?
I think that's it. Yeah.
Okay. Han and
can I say one thing about Vietnam?
Yeah.
I just want everyone to know, if you do not already know, for Vietnam, Grant Thornton Vietnam is actually our external advisor for accounting and some administrative stuff. So in case you are not aware of this, so they have been appointed, so they are helping us with all the whatever regulatory filings that needs to be done every monthly, every quarterly, every annually. I mean, in Vietnam, it seems like there's a lot of filings to do. But Grant Thornton Vietnam has been appointed officially as our advisor. So just letting you all know. Yeah. Thanks.
So are they also the company secretary? So
company
I
secretary.
don't think so.
No, I don't think so. Yeah.
But then I really appreciate the report that you share. It seems like they already
the FBI report,
they proactively doing the investment report as well, which I was a little bit concerned. The report you share with me, basically something about the reporting compliance obligations that we put together in that one page, corporate one page. Remember?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
but then in that corporate one page, we cannot put in all the details. So
Yeah.
what Grant Thornton Vietnam shared with me is that they give me an Excel file where they give me very detailed the list of reports that they did. So I will share that with you, so that you don't waste time doing duplicate work that we already pay them to do. So the list is quite overwhelming in my opinion. But then I will share with you after this call. Then at least you don't do duplicate work.
Yeah.
Right?
So at least all of the reports that I found now they are already handling.
Okay.
Things.
Okay, I'll share with you later. Yeah.
Share with Han whatever the scope of work is, so that if Han is doing it, and then if Han has to appoint a legal counsel to do it, we don't coordinate, and then we don't get like two parties doing the same thing.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. All right, I think that's all for Vietnam. So on my point just now about the financial modeling stuff, before I let you go, Keng, is I managed to get half a resource from Fernando's team. There's this guy called Theo who is going to join Fernando's team, and he used to do financial modeling for the EMEA region. So I'm not sure whether Shanas will be back next week. She told the last time she told me she will be back next week. But then depending on her situation at that point in time, I just dropped her a note. She hasn't responded yet. But in any case, I think when she's back, she's probably not going to run at 100% of her capacity. So we have Theo who is going to help us in Fernando's team who just joined. And I'm thinking about which country to allocate or what work to allocate to him. So good to know that Vietnam, we don't need anything immediately. So that could wait for a while. And so Korea, I know you guys are dying to get Wando and all the combination stuff, and with Pyeongpong and Kambang to progress. I'll get Theo to work on it. Okay, I think that's all for Vietnam. So Peng, if there's nothing else, you can excuse yourself, and then we can go on to Korea.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Have a good weekend.
Have a good weekend, Peng.
Yeah.
Okay, Korea. So let's go through the legal stuff first. Yeah. So Tom, do you want